Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Taste of Travel session. I'd like to welcome Chef Nicholas Pulmentis, U.S. Chef Champion, White House guest chef, James Beard participant, among other accolades. And stay tuned for more exciting news on TBS USA. Chef Pulmentis has a unique way of creating culinary experiences that involve all your senses and dishes that take you places. So once more, welcome to the Taste of Travel 2021 and the World Travel Catering and Onboard Services Expo. We're honored and excited to have you join us for this event. I'll start by letting Chef Nicholas talk about the dish that he's going to be cooking for us today, and the source of inspiration for this dish, and also why it is appropriate for our industry. Chef Nicholas.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me the chance to share with you my love and passion of creating dishes from Greece, and trying to marry them and show to the whole world how healthy and diverse food can be. So the dish I'm cooking today is, we call it in Greece, in a part of Greece, we call it gogizes, but it's our version of gnocchi. The usual gnocchi that you know from Italy, they are with potato and flour. The gogizes are with goat cheese and flour. So it's more, I would say, light with the sourness of twist. So I married it with a little bit of Peru, which I took the ají amarillo peppers. I made the paste, and then I made the classic base of a beurre blanc, and I infused with ají amarillo paste, which gives a spicy sweetness in the sourness of the gnocchi. And then I top it with a little bit of Maryland crab meat as it is. So this back in the years is this dish. If you taste it, you can realize how back in the years they were cooking with simplicity and the sourness of the cheese that they used to have for months closed or growing or aging, with the sweetness of the ground of the Mediterranean. So this is the dish we are doing today.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So tell us about the ingredients, tell us about the process of cooking this dish and plating. So please guide us through the entire process.
So the recipe used to be with the cheese that we call manuri. Manuri cheese, on the consistency of aging, it comes to the US or all over the world a little bit harder than you need to make the gogizes, the goat cheese gnocchi, that I call them goat cheese gnocchi. So that means that when the housewife or the house was creating this cheese, they were using it on the middle of the process, that it was soft enough before it got hardened and more aged, so that they can manipulate and work with the flour and become a nice dough. It has a couple of eggs in the recipe, and I give a twist of Parmesan, so I balance a little bit the goat cheese. The goat cheese that I use is pasteurized, but for me, actually, and for my palate, I would like not pasteurized because the flavor is much more stronger and more sour, which I really like. So when I make the gnocchi as a dough, I cut it in small pieces and I leave it on side. Then I have boiling water and I dip it, and it reacts exactly like the regular gnocchi. When you put the gnocchi in the boiling water, when they are ready, they come to the surface. Exactly the same reaction we have with the gogises, the goat cheese gnocchi. This dish became popular and people like it, really like it, because the gnocchi has a bite. This particular one, it has a very softer bite and it has an immediate kick. Now, if you marry it with the sauce that I have made, which is the beurre blanc. The beurre blanc, for who do not know the sauce, it's a butter-based sauce that you take it on different levels. The French use also lemon as a bermonte, or tarragon, or other ingredients, or other fusions. So I took the base and I added some ají amarillo. Ají amarillo it means yellow, and it's the amarillo. So it's one of the spicy peppers of Peru, not the most spicy. One of the most spicy is the ají rocoto, which is red, and it's extremely spicy. I don't remember how many millions of power it has on spiciness, but ají amarillo has a magic flavor of spiciness and sweetness. So I managed to bring a balance between the beurre blanc and the ají amarillo. And when I create the sauce and it becomes to the consistency I want, I take the goat cheese gnocchi from the boiling water and I dry them well in a chinois, and I place them in the, as you will see, in the sauce. Then I saute a little bit, like for 30 seconds, just to incorporate in the goat cheese gnocchi some of the beurre blanc. And then with a spoon, gently, I serve on a deep plate. Then, if you want, some people, they can use shrimp, they can use lobster. I've done that. But what I find most amazing and most close to the flavor on the palate, because you have that spiciness and you need something more, how can I say, more, let's say, not cold, but a little bit more balance on the heat that you have. I put crab meat. So the crab meat has by itself a beautiful seafood sweetness, and it's the marriage between the crab and the beurre blanc with the goat cheese gnocchi. It brings the dish to a truly other level. And also a very important thing, it brings a lot of memories. This dish brings a lot of memories, and that's the reason that I wanted to do this dish with you.
Thank you so much. This is truly great. I love how you're basically bringing together traditions and ideas from different countries and basically selecting the best of each country and creating a fusion of the best produce that each country has to offer. So tell me a little bit more about what inspires you, and particularly what inspired you to create this dish. What makes it unique?
The inspiration of this dish came after me traveling all around Greece. And I used to stop in all the neighborhoods in small villages, and I was going to and meet old people, sometimes uncles, friends, friends of friends, relatives. And I was asking the grandmother, how do you do this? How do you do that? So I saw this dish, and they were making it on the table for the family, and we had it for lunch. And when I came in the States, I saw people, Greek people, asking for the sourness, asking for their grandmother's dish from here, from there. And I said to myself, why don't I bring the traditional recipes of Greece to the table? I would say that it was difficult on the first, but my inspiration through the plate and the recipes truly pays off because people are reacting on that and they love many of the dishes, but also the particular one, which is one of the most trending dishes right now. And when they eat it, they say to me, Nick, oh, I remember Mizithra from there. I made, like, even when I go to the market, the Greek market, they say, thank you, chef. We are selling more Mizithra now. We are selling more Manuri now. We are selling more of this now because people remember the ingredients. They take them to their house and they cook. So my inspiration came from the people to the people. Like, it came from them and I'm giving them back with all of my love, and try to combine also all the places and bring it, like, for example, in a small menu as much as I can with special, because some things are seasonal and you can really find them. So that's my biggest inspiration, the people. And in some dishes, of course, it's personal, like my father, like my mother, like my grandmother, like where I grew up. Of course, that too. Like the crab that I put on the top, it's from Maryland, but I used to fish crab in Greece. Completely different, but it reminds me, it reminds the people, it reminds the community. And you can marry that because there is crab in Greece, there is crab in the whole Europe, there is crab in the US. So we are, that's why I say food brings people together. That's also my motto and my everyday inspiration.
Thank you. And if I may say this, one of your big passions is seafood, and a lot of your dishes are basically revolve around seafood. And you don't just take the ingredients and the history and memories from dishes around the Mediterranean and Greece in particular, but if I may say, you elevate the entire experience. And based on what we're seeing, the plating and the marriage of flavors, you mentioned about the peppers from Peru and crab and using cheese from Greece. It basically works in harmony with all the other flavors that makes the entire dish unique. So thank you for sharing this with us. And absolutely, I think leaving the pandemic behind us, people are seeking for unique experiences again, and people are really seeking to relive those memories of getting together with loved ones around the table, meeting parents, grandparents, family members, friends, to basically make them feel better. And food is all about bringing people together and making them feel better. So you're spot on in what you just shared with me. So if I may say, you're not following trends, but you're actually setting trends, and you're a trendsetter in your domain, in your area. So based on the recipe you just shared with us, I would like to ask you any trends you think that are being developed, and where do you think we are going with those food and beverage trends?
Truly, to tell you, this is a great question, Dr. Stathis, because the trends now are going to the Mediterranean cuisine. I will not stay on the Greek. I will not be the typical person from Greece that would say, but it goes to the Mediterranean diet. And this is a very good path, because the Mediterranean diet is the diet and the trend, because it's as a trend, everything starts, but it's a Mediterranean diet, and it's not a diet to lose kilos or pounds. It's a diet to have you healthy on your mind, on your soul, on clean body, because food is very, very important also mentally. So that's why it brings memory. That's why our organism react, and this is the reason. So the trend now on the Mediterranean, that means also from the waters of the US, also from the waters all around the world, because the Mediterranean is the Greek fish, also the US fish, the Atlantic, wherever the fish are from. So also the grounds. Our ground here is good for that. California is good for the grapes. Greece is good for the products, for the produce, and many other things. Peru, it has gorgeous and many things to give. One of the most grounds on the planet. Fruits that we don't even know they exist sometimes. So people are getting motivated from that, and they start eating more healthy. They try not to eat meat every day and kill all these animals, because also killing all these animals is not a good thing. And this, because, okay, the life chain, I understand, and the point of vegans and the point of vegetarians and the point of people like me that eat everything, but there has to be a balance. We lost the balance. So people, I believe the new trend is to find their balance. I remember back in the years, the doctor, even now, they say you must eat red meat twice a month. People many years eat red meat every single day. That's why they get sick. That's why they get bored. That's why they have other reactions and problems. So the new trend, I believe, is healthy food. Food that has meaning, that brings us memory, foods with a twist, and also on beverage, if I can say, even that is start taking a path of drinks without sugar, and gluten, and you name it, like from potato and many other things. So this is my point.
Perfect, thank you. And you touched perfectly on a point of sustainability, because, you know, as the population of the planet is growing, you know, there's more people, you know, seeking meat, and it's not sustainable at the same time seeking red meat for everyone. So you touched on perfectly on that, as the discussion about sustainability keeps getting more momentum. My next question relates to how can we take this particular dish and basically use it as an in-flight meal. So
oh my God.
Which class of service do you think this would suit better, and how appropriate do you think it is? And then also, what kind of wines would you pair this dish with?
This is a magic question, because this dish, truly, when you taste it, you really have that kick in your palate, and immediately it can transfer you to the place you are going. From the place you are coming, you will feel it from the bite. Like, let's say, if you combine it also with a wine or with a certain maybe sparkling wine, it depends also the where you are going. Like, if you have this dish and you go to Mediterranean, the first thing you need is a rosé, is a white wine, seafood, true flavors exploding your palate. So you will have inside you the happiness and the feeling that, oh my God, I'm going to be landing in Europe. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm gonna go to this restaurant. I'm gonna go to this mountain. I'm gonna go like you have the feeling it's gonna open all your senses of what you are going to feel in Europe, in Italy, in France, wherever, because it has that. And I believe meals in the aeroplane, not that one, but many others. If the flight choose a proper dish, I believe that it will make a big difference to the people that go from one point to another. They will feel where they go, and they will have memories. They will say, "Oh my God, I had this dish. I had the cheese. I had the seafood. I want to go and have more seafood. I want to go for swimming, and after swimming, I want to do this." And it reminds you, it brings you memories. Oh, I want to travel again, and when I go back, let's see what they have for me. That's the experience. I would not answer to you 100% about the first class or the second class on the airplane. This is a first class dish, but there are many dishes that can be equal, reminding the people where to go, because all the flights, they have a beautiful first class, but even the whole aircraft has always a good service, and people must be happy, and everybody has to have the same almost memory. So that's my personal opinion about that.
Perfect, thank you. And this is a great segue for my next thought-provoking question, because just like a lot of other industries, our industry, the one is focusing on in-flight services and food and beverage, is going through some changes too, and trying to re-identify itself and reposition itself in the market. So my question would be, if you were involved in the menu development and overall design of in-flight dining, what your recommendations would be to everyone that's listening to us?
My recommendation for the flight is not too many items, because when I fly, they have, which is beautiful, they have the cookies, the desserts, the many items, biscuits. For me, a simple dish with a salad and a chicken that is smoked with a beautiful yogurt sauce or something that's created, or a dish like the goat's gnocchi, not with the crab, with another item, because I understand some dishes are extremely expensive, but they can use always different amounts and on the first class and everything. But I believe in the simplicity and make the dish to the point. One beautiful dessert. Beverage is always almost rich in every plane. They just have to be more researched. Like when I traveled to France, of course, I had an amazing wine on the plane. When I traveled to the US, it was a very good wine, not amazing as that. So they have to make a research and combine that to give a bigger focus. And I hope they will, because aeronautic had this big problem with COVID, and they will need to recover from that. But if they focus, I would say, if they focus on the food and the beverage, I would say bigger research on the wine, even if it's a simple wine, just to be good. It might be organic on the first class. It might be biodynamic. It might be a wine when you fly to Greece from US, a Greek wine, or they might have an ouzo or a chipur or a racomelo, which is easy to have and not expensive. It's a process that they can do, and the food should be a good portion, one item, easy to do in the aeroplane, but with amazing flavor and also memories, and to be to the point with a nice dessert, which can be not the cookies, not the cake. It's so many things that can be. So I would create 4 or 5 different menus for every each place, and I believe I would give a good point where they should drive their needs and their hopes and their and share the love of the aircraft company, each aircraft, to the people on where they are going. So small, to the point, nice and simple dishes. Not too much sauce, so you don't get also dirty. Also, you don't need the sauce to eat if you travel so many hours. It's heavy. This type of food, I believe, would be great, and of course, healthier too. That's all I can say.
Thank you. So less is more, and having dishes that are meaningful to people, that basically travel them or take them to the destination before they even arrive. And also always keeping in mind the practicality of eating on a plane, as well as making it as healthy as possible, reducing fat and sodium, but at the same time, make it interesting. My next question would be, how do you maintain high quality in all that you cook, and also maintain flavors and bringing flavors from different parts of the world in creating a unique palette?
You mean in-flight food, or you mean in general in the restaurant? What exactly?
I mean in general at the restaurant, based on your expertise.
Okay, so I try to work with seasonal ingredients all the time, and specials. That means a special is when I have the ingredient that it's the season and it's organic. So I use it that period as a special, because I cannot have it in the menu all the time, because people will ask, and then it's not going to be fresh or seasonal as it's supposed to be. So what I do, I buy my ingredients seasonally, and I always buy the most high-end ingredients, the best extra virgin olive oil, the best vinegar, the sea salt. Even the sea salt, I use sea salt flakes, which is not processed, because the processed sea salt is the worst. Salt is a bad thing, but we need the salt. So even that, I use the sea salt flakes, that they are more higher quality, but less bad for the health. And you take the flavor with a little bit bite, not a big amount of that. So this is how I work in my kitchen, and I believe people recognize it. Like they know, right? If they eat something, they say, "Oh, I love the flavor. I love this fish." I have the same fish with somebody else. The branzino you sell, I sell. The difference is that the one that I have, it's fresh. It's I try not to have a lot of farm-raised seafood. We have, but not too many. So when Hawaii has a season, I bring seafood from there as a special. The same thing we do with the produce. So this is how I maintain the quality and the flavor all year around, and it pays off.
Perfect, thank you. My next question is about the well-being of guests, and often I'm referring to people that go to restaurants are guests, because the overall experience is a big component of this. So based on your expertise, what would you say that makes people happy when it comes to food and beverage, and also a restaurant environment? In other words, what can we learn from your experience?
This is an excellent, again, question, and very, very to the point question. So that's a thing I would like to say, but you already asked for it. The experience in a restaurant, as also in the flight, and in all the hospitality world, and I have this on my meetings with the general manager, with the food and beverage, and the owners always, is not only the food. This is a very right question. The customer that walk in the restaurant should be greeted by the front desk. So the customer right there feels that, oh, this is a nice environment. Either they know me, either they are very friendly. I love it. So this is the first experience, the first look. Then is the ambience. Then after the ambience is another bigger thing, because ambience is okay. The other thing is the people that are serving the table, from the runner to the busboy to the server and the bartender. These people, their smile, their knowledge, and their service makes another big difference. And I will tell you at the end exactly what I mean. This was an amazing question of yours, and people should know about that. Then the customer is happy 60%. The rest that would make the 40% and the experience and the customer to come back is the food. So 60% for me is the hospitality and the front of the house, and 40 is the food. Then you add on the food, everything else, the chef, the ingredients, the plating, and every other thing. So that's why and this happened to everybody of us, including me. Some people work inside them differently. Some people get very upset. But when you walk in a restaurant and the front desk doesn't greet you, doesn't say hi, a smile, give you a simple smile, you walk in the restaurant with a head down, because people go out to feel happy. Otherwise, they can eat at home. Now you sit on the table, you ask for water because you don't have it. You see the server is not knowledgeable, or the busboy, the bartender maybe is doing something else. Now you are totally disappointed. Now the food, even if it's 100%, it becomes a problem, because the customer inside him is totally disappointed. So even if he likes it, he's going to say the food was nice, but I won't come back because I didn't have a good service. Because at the end of the day, the customer is coming to have a great meal, but a greater service. And it's all about service. We've seen many, for me, it's all about food too, but this has to be very, very well married. Sometimes even in the flights, that this is referring also about that, I feel so comfortable when I go in the airplane and everybody say, hi, welcome to our flight. And when we leave, they say the same thing. There are sometimes the people that they come, they serve beverages. They say, do you want this extra blanket? Do you want the headphones? They make you feel good. You have a good experience. And I can tell as a customer, I had that flight and I had an amazing experience. I had that flight and I didn't feel comfortable. I had that flight and the plane was bumping and they were helping us, so we don't be afraid. Like all this has to be a complete experience.
Absolutely, and it's often the little things that can go a long way. And these are some great pointers for those of us that work in the industry and try to revamp an experience. So thank you so much for sharing this with us. I'm dying to ask the next question. knowing that you're also a celebrity chef that has worked at the White House, and you are also a chef of celebrities. We're not mentioning any names, but I wanted to ask you, what do these people eat? You know, I think a lot of us are wondering, okay, what do these people eat, and what do they like? So
yes. So first of all, thank you for referring on that. I would say also that I was lucky and blessed that I had the chance to be at the White House and cook as a guest chef like 4 days. I met amazing people. It was a unique experience for me. But everybody, all the celebrities, even the people there, even the guests at the White House that I cooked, they are simple people. They like what you like and I like, and they want it more simple because in their everyday life, nothing is simple. So they like simple and they like healthy. This I can tell you. People want to eat healthy, especially those people that they look after their diet. They do a lot of gym, dance, or singing, so they have to be in a certain shape. And as we said on our first question, food brings you mentally, mostly mentally health. So yes, they eat very, very proper, but simple. They like a simple salad with a piece of fish, or with a piece of chicken, or with a piece of red meat. They like the desserts, but they eat a little bit. And simple desserts. I would say they like a tarte tatin. They wouldn't like a crazy, let's say, chocolate lava. They would do that. The tarte tatin, which is an apple pie with one crust with a little bit of ice cream. They like this type of desserts, light, to the point, and not very sweet.
Perfect. Thank you. Now we know what some of the celebrities like to eat, and you know, sometimes just by knowing what you just shared, we may feel celebrities ourselves. Wonderful. Any final thoughts on how the industry is evolving and the new trends that we see being developed, please?
What do you mean exactly with that?
Any final points of advice to chefs that may be looking at us, airlines, onboard food and beverage providers?
My personal humble advice, because there are other great chefs that they are giving their heart and their soul in the industry every day in many ways. I would say, and I want to believe that we should work harder to show the people the correct roots of each one of us, because I'm Greek from Mediterranean. Everybody has his own place with his beautiful ingredients and his beautiful recipes. I believe we have to show to the people how to eat properly and tell them the truth, because people do not know the truth about the food they have in many, many places. Now it's much better, but before years, people were eating food from the same fryer, seafood and veggies. That's why many allergies and many things are happening right now to the people, and slowly the allergies are starting to reduce. So this is my message: healthy food, true food, marry the food of the world, and food should bring the people together. give good service, give our heart and our soul, because this is who we are, and the front people and the back people. And the same thing, I believe, is on the beverage. And this is also happening right now in New York and in the US. Natural, biodynamic, wines, organic, pure, they are everywhere right now. And I want to say that, and I'm saying it humble, I was the first Greek chef that I brought in New York. New York Times gave me a review for that, and I thank them because that helped a lot for that to come out. I brought a whole catalog of only organic, natural, and biodynamic wines in a restaurant that I opened before 5 years. So now it's going higher and higher, and I believe it should be a consideration also for the flights.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Question, what drives you? In other words, what gets you out of bed in the morning to go and work? What's your inspiration?
My inspiration is that every day I keep myself with a new recipe, and I go and create every day something new. And it's like I'm a baby. Like when it's waiting a couple of days to be done, I wake up early and I say, oh my God, I have to finish that. Let me see how it's going to come. And this is my motto. Also, the people I work with, which I love them, I see them more than my family. I spend more than 10 or 16 hours, maybe more some days. But cooking is the thing that takes me away, takes my heart away. And I would say cooking saved my life and also gives me life every day.
Perfect, thank you. And this concludes our session. Again, I would like to thank you so much for joining this virtual Taste of Travel, as well as Onboard Hospitality, our hosts, as well as Reed, for allowing us to participate with Chef Nicholas Pulmentis. And we're looking forward to seeing your creations, Chef, whether it is at a restaurant or on TV. So thank you so much once more, and please stay tuned.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.